Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and to my May TBR. I actually finally filmed a wrap up. That was my last video. You might want to check it out. I did a 4-month wrap up. Yeah. Anyway, before I get into my TBR and my TBR prompt jar, which I should probably move my TBR cart ever so slightly because so you can just see a little bit more of it. A little bit more. A little bit. That task has been accomplished. But before we get into doing my May TBR, I kind of want to bring you a little bit closer. What was I saying? Oh yes, nice little haul. I have a couple of bookmarks to show first. I do have some books that I'm going to go through that I have acquired mostly in the last month, but I'm going to go through these bookmarks first. Actually, I also got some more stickers. I got this one that says Book Lovers Club. I've got this kind of fantasy one, and then I also got this one that says Crying Over Fictional Characters. These two I already had from my book lovers trip. Actually, I need to edit that vlog because that has a nice little book haul in it. Anyway, I got those, and also the Kindle background, although I'm not obsessed with it with these stickers, gonna be honest. Anyway, first bookmark is this one. This is very much giving fantasy fairy tale vibes. The maker is Elena Creates. I got these from a bookstore in Grantham, and it was very fun. I also got this one that's gingham and bows, just very cutesy, very coquet. I then also got this one that says Silly Goose on the Loose, just because I thought it's quite humorous, quite fun. I don't want all of mine just to be pretty and cutesy. So it's just, yeah, it's just fun. And I also got this strawberries in kind of like design with like flowers and like your grid kind of thing, which I thought was also cute. All of these were Elena Creates, and they were all in this bookshop. I don't know about the stickers, gonna be honest. Let's move my TBR jar, like my prompt jar, and go through some of my recent acquisitions. These are in no particular order. I've just kind of got hardbacks at the bottom of my pile and some paperbacks at the top. Spoiler alert, most of these are hardback. The first book is the Between Worlds B&B by Amy May Baxter. I had actually seen this maybe by the creator, maybe on Instagram. I can't remember. I've seen this somewhere. This is just like, this is cozy fantasy. I just thought cover is so pretty. I think I saw this in Waterstones. Yes, I did. It's the author's debut character. I'm not going to read all of it, but it says, have you ever wanted to experience magic? Have you ever wanted to get away from everything? Do you enjoy baked goods? Then come and stay at the Between Worlds B&B. And I think it's just, again, between worlds, and you get loads of different kind of like a variety of cast is what I'm going to say. In terms of like, one guest is like a fairy princess, magical beings, there we go, that's what I meant by like cast. And I just thought, this is so fun, this is so cute. It's a short book. It's less than 300 pages, which wasn't like, although those have been preference recently because I'm not able to get through as many. That wasn't what I was going for with this book. I just thought, this is cute, like so pretty. And I very much just wanted to kind of give it a go. That's the first book. Then the next book is my Owl Crate. I've just remembered I was going to do a prompt for Owl Crate. Not Owl Crate. Jesus Christ. Illumicrate. Evan. Afterlight. Jesus Christ. But I never did. Honestly, if I get the Fairy Loot prompt again, I'm just going to pick between Fairy Loot and Illumicrate. Anyway, this is Enemies to Lovers by Alicia Ray. This is like Jesus Christ, I can't remember. Two criminals and like family drama. FBI agent's brother and finding this brother, and they fall for each other. I'm going to be completely honest. I think the fact that it's called Enemies to Lovers is a bit of a cop-out, Could you not have been more original? I'm sorry, but could you not? This could be a really good book and I could really enjoy it. That's the Sprayed Edge. It just repeats all the way round. Are we really just naming the trope as the title? I don't like that. Like, I think there's a book, actually I might still have it. Probably will get Unhauled if I haven't already, but it's called When Grumpy Met Sunshine. And I'm just like, really? Is it really a grumpy sunshine? Yeah, not great. I have Unhauled books, like off camera with no content. Just thought I'd say. But yeah, that's the second book. The next book is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Obviously, it's finally come out in paperback. Thinking about paperbacks, the new Emily Henry book has come out, and there's also another one that's come out recently in paperback. I can't remember the name of it, but I know that I want to read it. I love how I can't think of the other one that's come out in paperback, that I'm like, oh. This obviously very much follows Joan in her want to go to space. Or has she already? Well, no, she has in like the current timeline. I think then in the past timeline is when she's training. I'm aware that it's an emotional. Technically, I've actually read a chapter, but that was because it was the only book I had, and I'd forgot my Kindle at work, and I was like, I need to at least read a chapter. Let's just say from this chapter already, I know what the heartbreak is. And I'm not looking forward to it. But also, yeah. I don't think I have it on these bookshelves. But at my nana's house, I think I have Carrie Soto Is Back. I know I own it. I believe it's there. Which I have not read yet. Going on to my hardbacks, I own Riftborn by Greenwich and Lennox. Do you want to know why I own this book when I previously had no interest in it? Like, what made me read the blurb? I'm sorry. That is beautiful. It was coming home with me. This is a little bit more basic, but still beautiful. Yeah. This very much follows like a rebellion. I think there's magic, potential death. There's a target on this woman's back, and she generally hides in the shadows. And there's also a general, and obviously romance. I believe this is the first in a series. I think the second one is already due. Is it due to come out next year? No, not next year, this year. Is it due to come out this year? I think I saw somewhere that Duskbound comes out later this year. This might have been indie published and then is being... Yeah, so Duskbound is coming in July, which is fun. I'm hoping Sprayed Edge time. But yeah, I read that and I do enjoy that premise. I think because they're longer books and they take me longer, and the fact that I'm not able to get through as many books because of work, which I'm pretty sure I've mentioned every month, and you guys are all like, oh, for fuck's sakes, can you just shut the fuck up about work? Just under 500 pages, so a little bit nicer. But yeah. Then the next book is the Mindsight first ever book, and that is The Ending Writes Itself by Evelyn Clark. I forgot to say Greenwich and Lennox is two friends as authors. This book is also two friends as authors. So Evelyn is V.E. Schwab and Clark is Kat Clark, who is a YA writer, I believe. This is I think it's classed as a thriller. It's like a mystery thriller. I'll go with that. This cover, naked hardback, beautiful. And I will say, so although the actual front cover doesn't give much, the house is text. It says, "He who holds the pen tells the truth," and you can't see it, but really small is the words get out. Like, they get a little bit more, like, you can pick them out more. Like, you'd originally just think this is texture, right? It says the words get out. I did not realize that at the time. And on the edges it reads gets out, which I just thought that's such a fun thing. And it says it really small. Like, it's only really sprayed edge on this side. It is just plain black, but the white text also reads get out, and I'm like, that is so fun. Also the back typewriter, and it might be basic, but I do enjoy the attention to detail. And obviously this is like the pen, and like, there's a couple, and I just thought that is such a fun detail. Like, it's very basic, but there's clearly been a lot of kind of thought that's gone into this, and I just very much appreciate that. Then the next book is the Chapter House Book Club, like, this month's book, and that is Yesteryear by Caro Claire Burke. This is a debut. This is very much a tradwife thriller. I think it's thriller, mystery, something along those lines. I'm not too much aware. I'm just aware that it's an influencer who kind of portrays a trad life and then wakes up in like the 1800s. I've heard from the bookseller. Like, I went in to buy this because of Chapter House, and then the cashier at Waterstones was like, I haven't read it, but I want to. And like, apparently like trad life is like coming up as popular in like books, because apparently there's like a horror or something that was like a trad life that's also out. And yeah, it's just quite fun that we were just having this small conversation about it. Yeah, I'm interested to read this, because obviously the main question is, why is she woken up in the 1800s? This is just going to be overall fun. I think it's like 400 pages. So we will see about making it to read that this month. Then the next book is the sequel of a book that I've only actually just I started in January and haven't finished. Rights of the Starling by Devney Perry. Only because I've got the floral edition of Shield of Sparrows. I wanted the floral of this one. Oh, I'm pretty sure it's very similar to the one on the front of Shield of Sparrows. I know there's something different because someone's commented on how there's something. Yeah. I got, obviously the first book is very much a princess who was kind of the second born, like the spare. There's this treaty called the Shield of Sparrows, where every generation there has to be a marriage between two kingdoms, I think it is, and that's supposed to be her older sister. It doesn't end up being. And basically they just kind of go from there. Yeah, and then I think this is the final book that I've acquired in this period. I'm sure there's probably another one on there. Well, there's going to have been like a Natural Fairy Romantasy that's on the bookshelf already. These were just what was to like easy hand to haul, like to show a haul of. Last book is Jesus Christ, Bloodbound by Ellis Hunter. Also Besties. I'm sorry, there's like clearly like a upsurge. Is that upsurge? I don't know. Like, there's been an increase of bestie authors. And that's just fun. They're very simple, but it is signs, and which is fun in itself. And like, I do love dragon scales. And like, that's the end. I'm sorry, but that's beautiful. Very much dragons, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, dragons. And I love a dragon book. Like, I didn't enjoy the Sophie Jordan book, just because the dragons in it weren't typical dragons. I don't know how else to describe that without giving it away. And it's just, yeah. That was the final book for me to haul. They're just going to kind of stay beside me, although I feel like I need a section to be able to put my books that I'm choosing for my TBR. So to make it easy for myself, I'm just moving the books that I've got piled next to me from where I've literally pretty much just filmed my TBR, not TBR, my wrap up. I kind of feel like I want to do something. The thing is, I'm considering doing for my 2026 a wheel spinner, but I kind of might leave that till next month because it was only an idea I had like 2 hours ago. We'll just leave that for now. Part of me would like to get something off of this bookshelf. I am halfway through the rule book by Sarah Adams. This is currently the 9th of May, by the way. And I think it might be like 47%, but like very basically halfway, especially if you encounter like acknowledgements. Yeah, so 47%. And I'm enjoying it so far. I'm still gonna pick 6. Am I gonna get to 6? Probably not, when my highest has been 3. My highest was like 3, maybe 4, but only because of like a tiny short novella. You know what I mean? But I would like to read more. I very much would. So I'm hoping. So let's pick. Let's try and shake to break these up, because yeah. And let's pick book number 1. Book with magic. I like this. I like a book with magic. Oh, I've just remembered a book that I recently hauled that I've just had on my bookshelf. It's a book called Spoiled Milk by Avery Curran. I saw this in Waterstones and I was like, what is a book called Spoiled Milk about? And it's like gothic or something. So this unfortunately does not contain magic, but just to give like a summary, and this is what it says. Spoiled Milk is a queer gothic horror about teenage repression, the hauntings at the heart of English institutions, and the everyday terror of coming of age. Avery Curran turns the beloved boarding school horror on its head in this insidiously visceral debut. Kind of a shame that this doesn't have magic, because that's just fun. Do I look on here immediately? Would that be classed as magic? I was going to say does Shadowhunters, but I don't think it does. It's not what it says. I would very much like to read this book. So you know what? Let's consult Goodreads, like we always do. In this video, like in these videos, I always consult Goodreads. Of course, it's called City of Bones, not Shadowhunters, but you know what I mean. Maybe it's because I'm searching in my books that I'm not having any luck. Okay, no, it is called City of Bones. Okay, so I had to turn to Google Overview because I didn't want to read reviews, because what if spoilers? AI Overview. I was just searching, does City of Bones contain magic? And it says City of Bones is a fantasy novel saturated with magic. Extensive magical system. I think I glimpsed the words rune magic. So this is gonna be the first book on my TBR for the month of May, which, Jesus Christ, how is it May? It's bigger text, so even though it's like what, 500 pages, just over 510 pages, it's also bigger text. Like, let me go to like the first page just so nothing gets ruined for anybody. Like, you know, I'm not here trying to spoil a book. Actually, you know what? Let's show the foreword. This is big. Like, this is bigger text. Is this on Kindle? Like, it's still going on my TBR, but is it on Kindle? No, it's not. It's $3.49 at the moment, but I'm definitely not buying it at $3.49. Like, not happening. So we will just read it physically. Like, we can be a big girl. We can read books physically. Anyway, picking book number 2. I think that's probably one of the first times I've been able to, or at least I've remembered to add that book in. Under 300 pages. I love this. I love this. My first, I don't know why, but my first way to go was Perfect Cover by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Also, this feels floppy. This is definitely under 300 pages. Yes. 286. This is part, it's also floppy. This is part of a duology. I don't own the second book, but obviously I very much own the first. And this is like hacker, karate black belt person. And it's like she joins a squad that's hidden spies, like spies hidden in plain sight, and that just sounds so fun. I very much have enjoyed the Inheritance Game series by her. I've enjoyed the Natural series, which kind of, this was published before the Naturals, I think. I know this is an older book that's just had new covers. So this is probably just very much the stepping stone at which the Naturals and all of that. So I think it's going to be somewhat, not reminiscent, like, because it's going to be very much different, but I think in some capacity there's going to be some, not similarities, but like it's going to give some of the same vibes. So yeah, second book on my TBR. Matches the Season. Did I have this last month? Or did I have Opposite Season? No, I think I had Opposite Season last month. When did this book start? That does not say. Am I about to put this on for like the third or fourth TBR? If it does not outright say, it does not say, but also it says graduation, and I don't know when that is in America, so that's going back. It says counting down the days until winter is over, so it's set in winter at the start. So yeah, I don't want to read more of that because I don't. Basically, I just don't want to spoil any more of the book, is what I'm saying. When are you set? Okay, so this is set in autumn. Doesn't say in this book, but I'm also now more interested to read out. And I've had this on my TBR for a while. Because I don't fancy spending ages looking for a book, I'm just going to pick another. I think I just have a lot that is set in summer. Oh, there's 2 here. Because I could technically see part of the yellow. I've gone with the green. Makes people cry. Obviously. If we're going to go back to my book haul earlier, that's on there. There's also Kristen Hannah. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know of any other books that make people cry, so I think I'm gonna stick this on there. TBR. And there's book number 3. I feel less likely to get to atmosphere, I will be honest.
I've got the one that says set in opposite season. No, I'm not doing seasons today. Not happening. I've still got some that I can tell the odd one hasn't been opened. So let's try and go for one of these. This feels like it's not been opened at all. So I'm going for this one. Has a map. We love a map. So has a map. But which way do I want to go for the has a map? Yes, I'm aware I was very weird picking up this. Did I see a map in this? Because sometimes, I don't think I did, but sometimes in a romance book, you get a map? No. That's kind of sad. That would have been fun to have added. This has a map. I caught this Cruel and Lovely. I'm also pretty certain I have this on Kindle. It is over 500 pages. In fact, if we're going to be real, it's 557. That is not happening. Yesteryear doesn't have a map. On a technicality, this sort of has a map. Not in the sense of like it has a map at the front of whatever. But it does kind of have that. But I don't know. I feel like when I think of map, I do think actual map in itself. This has a map. This is the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, which actually... Is this also set in the fall? We might as well try this, especially because I own the first 4 books in the series. And I haven't read a single one of them. So I think we should put that on the TBR. Because it was the best way to get the has a map without. Yeah. Also, let's try and reach for one of these that doesn't feel... I can't see them. I think that might have been one of the last that hadn't been. Let's try and go for a tightly fold. That does not feel tightly folded. Let's just go for whichever one's in my hand right now. Next in a series. So we could, I feel like I have 2 options. I could do this one, which I have obviously just read part of the first few pages. And I'm now like intrigued again. I read the first book ages ago. Which I actually don't remember where that first book is. It's somewhere. I don't think I unhauled it. Like, I remember, I think I enjoyed it enough. It is a chunky book. Why do I think it's on Kindle? Like, it's actually giving me it's on Kindle vibes. Kindle Unlimited. A nice one. I do love that. Kindle version has 594 pages. So it's quite a lot. But I think it's also been on my TBR for a long, long time. A lot longer, I think, than this. So let's put that on the TBR. And let's pick our final prompt. Basically, any success of my TBR is all dependent on if I can read it on Kindle. A blue book. Okay. I think last time we did that, we went for Beartown. Not happening. This is blue. This is very blue. This is Murder at Cole's Nest. Why did I buy this? Because you could get this basically free bookmark that was in it, so I got one. I think this is technically part of a series, but like interconnected. Also, it's set in the 1950s. She's a nun, but just chooses to change her life into a sea, and then someone goes missing, and there is a death. And yeah, like this is just overall fun, and it's also 331 pages. So yeah, and also it would then create a little bit more of a range on this TBR, because a range is literally the only way that this TBR gets done. But also especially when you consider I am halfway through this book. I do hope to read for, I've got a bit of work to do, but I'm hoping to read for like another hour. Like I'm hoping to read for an hour before I go to bed, because I think I've got exactly 3 to go. 3 hours and 9. I knew if I wasn't exactly 3, I wasn't far off. But yeah, I very much want to hopefully get through that. The next 2 days probably gonna be Things We Hide from the Light, or another book that I can get on Kindle. I might try and get those into my library, like my Kindle library, just to make it easy for me. And maybe download it as well, actually. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Very much a long video, slightly chatty. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. And also let me know what your TBR is for the month of May. Bye guys!